Hi, good afternoon. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have a presentation that for everybody here. And since everybody is a new family to GCA, we are having this session to give you some information that you will hopefully find helpful for this school year. And then at the end, I'll take any questions that you have. So we'll start off with the presentation. Okay, so if you are new to Jigsaw, you might not be familiar with our tools. And so if you ever need to, check on your settings, like your microphone settings, your audio settings, you can click on the little settings button by your name and do that. You can also, if you need to step away, if you're, and this also goes for students in classes, if we have any students in the room, to that if you're in class and if you need to use the restroom, it's important to use that step away button and then come back as quickly as possible, of course. But it's important to use that step away button so that the teacher knows that you're not there. So if they happen to call on you to answer a question, they'll know that you had to step away for some reason and that you're not just ignoring them. So that's where might be able to use that step away button there. And also, there's the refresh my connection. If you're ever having trouble hearing, if you're in a Jigsaw session and you can't hear, it could be useful to try and refresh the connection because sometimes that will work and then you'll be able to hear again. Um, Okay, we'll go ahead and move on. And this is me. I'm Jennifer Lansing. I am your Family School Partnership Coordinator for secondary grades. And so we, as Family School Partnership Coordinators, we have a family school partnership coordinator for each of the grade areas. So we have one for elementary and primary, and then another family school partnership coordinator that does middle grades. Then there's me for secondary grades. We also have Michelle Gilliard, who you will meet in a few minutes here, and she is for our service and leadership for our clubs, and she has some great information to share with you as well about some of the exciting things for high school clubs that we have here at GCA. And so some of the ways that we serve you is we provide resources and communications to families, all families, including families with English learner students, limited English proficient families. We also recognize the value of parents and how to communicate with them as equal partners. We provide school parent compacts and engagement policies in family-friendly language. And then we provide meetings and volunteer opportunities and leadership opportunities for parents and students as well. And you'll hear some more about those in this presentation. We also have student leadership and service opportunities. So I'm going to go on to our GCA mission and vision. So GCA, our mission is Georgia Cyber Academy provides and supports an interactive virtual learning environment to support individualized and differentiated student-centered educational experiences, serving students from kindergarten through the 12th grade. And then our vision is Georgia Cyber Academy envisions a learning environment where students are empowered through the collaborative partnership of its students, parents, learning coaches, teachers, and administrators to successfully reach their full academic potential and emerge career and college ready and prepared to assume roles as positive contributors to society. So you'll find that we do have a lot of support here at GCA for you and for your students. And you'll learn a little bit more as we go through the presentation about that support. So your principal for secondary grades, here is your admin team and your principal, Dr. Angela Anglin Taylor. And you'll be seeing her in some of the parent meetings as well. And so here's the list of all of the different assistant principals here in the secondary grades. And again, if you ever need this information, I think I mentioned it at the beginning, maybe not everybody was in here, but I went ahead and put the link for the presentation in the group note board. And so this presentation, if you ever need to refer back to it, look for any names or look for any links, everything is there's a link to the presentation in our group note boards. And then also I have a link for the parent calendar there, which is an important resource for you to find information about meetings or events. You can look at our parent calendar. And then I also have the counseling website, which is an important resource for high school students for sure. So, an overview for this school year. So, we do offer live class sessions every Monday through Friday, and the lunch period is 11:56 to 12:56. So, students do have a full hour for lunch, which is awesome. We've got classes going all day, so hopefully they'll be able to take a little break, walk around, step away from the computer for a few minutes, and take that lunch break. Also, we have credit recovery available year round, and we have live credit. Those are live credit recovery sessions. We have free tutoring for all subjects. And if you can also like ask for help from your FEL or the content teacher. But we do have a program called Tutor Me, and it is available. Students are can go on to Tutor Me, anytime and request a tutor for if they need help for any of the subject areas. So it is an very valuable resource. They can use it in the evenings. They could use it on the weekends, from what I've heard, and so there's always that extra support there. Of course, you are always encouraged to students, and parents that are in here, to encourage your students to talk to the teacher if they're struggling, if they have questions. Of course, the first person to talk to would be to that teacher. If they want some extra support, though, if they need some extra help, with a certain topic, Tutor Me is a wonderful resource, and you're going to access that through Clever. So you're going to, when you log into the computer, the first thing you always do is go to Clever and to get to Canvas and everything. So it is, you're going to go to Clever, and you're going to be able to find Tutor Me on there. We also have streamlined platforms. And what we mean by that is, so, everything is single sign-on. You're not having to remember passwords for all the different sites that might be used. So we do have, that's very helpful to have that single sign-on. And then all students are required to be on camera for district assessments. So assessments that may include MAP, IAs, anything that the teacher will notify students. This is a required assessment that you have to be on camera for. So they do have those required camera assessments. GCA also has a dual enrollment program, so students are able to be enrolled in college courses at the same time as they are completing their high school courses. So that's also a great opportunity that's available here at GCA. We also have work-based learning. So students are able to work, and while and have that be part of their high school, a class for high school as well, is the work-based learning program. And so if you look, there will be more information about the work-based learning program on the counseling website if you're interested in finding out more about that program. We also have our GCA District Handbook, our academic calendar, and our secondary grades compact and parent engagement policy will be available by October 11th on our website. Okay, so next I want to talk about some legal guardian and learning coach expectations. So here at GCA, it's a little bit different than a brick and mortar school in that students are accessing all of their learning resources online, and we do have faculty and staff to support student learning. But there's also a need for some support and guidance from an adult, which is the learning coach. It could be a parent, legal guardian. And that person, it's important that person is present and supervises, monitors their students' progress throughout the day and the school year. So here are some of the primary duties of the learning coach. So it would be to enter attendance daily. So you're going to have an attendance program. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but it's important that you make sure you check on that attendance daily and enter any needed attendance. And then also reading GCA emails at least once daily. We know that you are going to get quite a few emails from GCA, and it's important that you read your emails and find out any important information because that is our primary method of communication here at GCA would be through email. So you might get emails from the attendance department, any department that might need something from you. They may send you an email, so it's important to please check your email every day. Also, make sure to complete all paperwork and requests and surveys that are sent to you. And then also, keeping your students' information up to date, making sure that if you move, you change the address on file, have phone numbers up to date in case, so that we can contact you, email addresses as well. Also, monitoring the students' assignment completion and grades daily. So, what's great is that you do have your learning coaches can have their observer accounts. So parents can have these accounts where you can, keep an eye on your students' activities and look in. You can also check in on their grades and also or you can use your student's computer, have them log in, show you what assignments they've done and their grades. It's just important to not get behind and to make sure that students are completing their assignments every day. Also, it's a great, while it's, you know, being that we're students are online, they're not right there in front of the teacher. So the camera is a great opportunity to keep their webcam on, to use the chat, to raise their hand to get on the microphone. That is the best opportunity students are going to have to be able to build that relationship with their teacher and to get to know their teacher and make sure that they ask their teacher questions and participate in class. And they're definitely going to get the most out of their classes if they are raising their hand and participating in their classes. So that is extremely important. Also, using their whiteboard and polling tools. So there are going to be some tools in Jigsaw that they can use to participate. And it's also important that parents are monitoring students when they're taking assessments. It's important that students are taking these assessments on their own and not receiving any additional help, because the teachers really do need to know what students know and what they might need additional help with. Also, it's reading assessments or questions or answers to students would be considered helping and shouldn't be done. It's also important to communicate with students, teachers, counselors, or FELs if you ever feel that your student is struggling or needs additional support, please do reach out to the teacher. You could also talk to your student's counselor and to the FEL. Also, at the bottom, this is very important that students who are required to attend live class sessions will be counted absent if they're not in their class. Regardless of what is put into the attendance system nucleus, it's important that parents and learning coaches understand that students still have to attend the live classes if they're required. So that means that you can't just put that time in nucleus and think that will take care of the absence. It doesn't. It will still be an absence. That's just something important to know as you're starting. Student expectations. So students, it's important that when you're working, try and have the least distractions as possible. So probably don't want to have the TV on, don't want to have your phone and being on your phone. It's really important to be on, in your classes and to give all of your attention to your teachers so that you get the most out of your classes and that you do, as far as, being able to be prepared for your tests and your projects and your assignments. It's extremely important to be paying that attention to class. Also, treating yourself and others with fairness and courtesy and respect, and same as with school property, um, engaging and participating in live class, as we talked about, using the camera, and also understanding the school's procedures for resolving conflicts and concerns. And again, important to attend classes as required and completing assignments on time. You definitely don't want to get those late penalties for, if if certain assignments are open a little bit after the due date, you will still get late penalties if you turn those assignments in late. So definitely want to turn in all of your assignments on time. It's important that we participate in all assessments, including the state mandated tests within the time period that is required, and be your own advocate. That's, a great thing about GCA is that, students have the ability to reach out to their teachers via email. They can ask in class, but, it's important to ask if you need help because the teachers are very supportive, and, they're here for you and they want you to do well. So you need to reach out if you have any questions. Also, be your own or also model integrity and work ethic. So just making sure that you are doing those assignments and following directions when you're doing all of your assignments. Asynchronous day expectations. So sometimes here at GCA, we do have what's called an asynchronous day or async day. And what that means is that there may not be any live classes on those days, but instead, teachers might record lessons for you, the students, to complete during that day. So those dates will be marked on the student calendar, Canvas calendar, and your teachers will also give you some instructions before that day. So on those days, students need to view class recordings, complete all assignments or tasks on their calendar and within their modules for that day, and then reach out to the teacher if you have any questions or concerns. How do you access these? Well, you're going to log into Canvas like you would normally. You go to the courses tab and you choose the course that you want to find. Click on Jigsaw. And then to access the recorded lesson, when you're in Jigsaw, there's going to be a little tab that says recorded. You're going to click on that and it'll show the class recordings that you have there from your teachers. So you can watch the recording there. So student attendance will not be captured in Nucleus for those asynchronous days. So normally Jigsaw and Nucleus, the attendance platform, will coordinate so that it'll pull over any of your students' live attendance into the Nucleus attendance platform. But on these asynchronous days, it will not. It's the responsibility of the legal guardian and learning coach to log the time for their students for those asynchronous days. Attendance expectations. So we've talked a little bit about Nucleus already. And so it's important that you have a Nucleus account. So what is Nucleus? Nucleus is the online application used to enter student attendance. You can check for missing class sessions there as well. And you can upload any excuses. If you have a doctor's appointment or something like that, then you can upload your documentation for that. Students who attend live classes in Jigsaw, those sessions are automatically uploaded or updated in Nucleus as well. So, but to add, like we said earlier, adding additional work time in Nucleus doesn't take the place of a missing required live class session. But time must be entered for testing weeks. If we have testing weeks, it's extra important to make sure that you're entering that time for your students so that your students do not get any unexcused absences. And so who should you contact about any attendance questions or absences? That would be your attendance specialist. A welcome letter may have been sent to you already or may be coming shortly from your attendance specialist. This is the person that you should contact for all attendance related questions. And they can be contacted directly from Nucleus or via email or phone. Students with an IEP. So if your student receives special education services and has an IEP, then the school will meet with the parent or legal guardian and learning coach to require team members as well and the student, if applicable, for an IEP intake meeting. It's important that all special education related documents are sent as soon as possible to special education records at georgiacyber.org. The email address on the screen. You can also find it in the presentation here on the that's on the group note board. and all the links are going to be in that presentation. So if you missed any links or any information and anything that I've been talking about today, you can easily find it in that presentation. So also note that IP meetings are held via Zoom and must be accessed from a non-student device. But if there are any concerns about that, please reach out to the case manager. And then also parents, legal guardians must attend the IEP meeting if there is one, if your student has an IEP, so that the most recent one can be reviewed. And then accommodations, modification services, and courses. And then after the intake meeting, students' schedule might be updated. Okay, so we do have a lot of support staff here at GCA to help the students and families. And so, who does what around here? Well, the homeroom teacher, that's who does the MAP and IA testing, meeting with students daily, is a friendly face for kids and a resource for general school questions, update students on changing processes, the school calendar, etc. And then helps students plan for success and prepare for learning. The family engagement liaison helps students log into Canvas, supports parents, and facilitates communication, facilitates Strong Start and Stay Strong, collects signatures and assists with compliance, reinforces school expectations and processes. Then would be next would be the school counselor. They also play an important role in secondary. In high school, they create schedules and outline expectations for graduation. They are the only authority on grade level placement and credits. That's important to note that if you have any questions on grade level placement or credits, please speak to your counselor. And then also they talk about college and career planning, and they create the individual learning plan, the ILP, and they provide social and emotional support to students as well. Next would be the FSPC. So that would be my department. So that would be me for secondary grades. And then we have our other FSPCs, as I discussed earlier. So I do send your secondary grade newsletters out, facilitate new family welcome sessions, facilitate new and returning families orientations, and then also parent meetings, district town hall. So we do have parent meetings, each month that you'll be able to find on our parent calendar, which I have the link in the group note board. And so we would love to see you at our parent meetings. Getting connected. We do have some great opportunities for students to be connected here at GCA. So Georgia Cyber Academy, high school students and student club and honor societies we do have, and give students an avenue for pursuing their interests and passions outside the classroom in a manner that helps them grow and develop as leaders. So clubs are led and moderated by GCA faculty and staff members who mentor and guide student participants. We also have virtual innings. So our community partnership team offers students many opportunities throughout the school year. They can attend events online virtually. They also have events out in the communities. So it's important to check that parent calendar to see what events are coming up and to make sure to register and sign up for them in advance, because they do close pretty quickly. We do have some great and exciting field trip, community opportunities, opportunities out in the community that you can bring your child to. But like I said, they do close up pretty fast. So it's important to make sure to register for any that you see that you might be interested in. And then we also have opportunities for parents and learning coaches. The GCA PTSO provides an avenue for communication, offering volunteer opportunities and fundraising to assist with school-related programs and projects. And then we do have a parent advisory council for parents to be positive ambassadors while providing meaningful input that impacts our students and families. School contacts, best practices. So you are definitely welcome to call the school if you have any questions. But the best way to contact your students' teachers would definitely be by email. because students are teaching, I mean, teachers are teaching all day in classes, then it's a little bit, they're not going to be able to answer the phone while they're teaching. So it might be the easiest to send an email with questions, any questions that you have, so that they could get back to you as fast as they can. If you do need to call, though, the phone number is here on the screen, and you can leave a voicemail, and those voicemails are monitored Monday through Friday. Here is your bell schedule, so you can see um, homeroom is in the morning from 8 to 8:20, and then we have got the first period through seventh period with lunch in the middle. So credit recovery, other intervention supports are built directly into the student's schedule. Homeroom is required for all students, and then it's important information for school success is discussed in homeroom. So it's in also career and course planning with the counselor. So it is important to attend homeroom every single day. Excuse me. Okay, so you can view your student's schedule in Infinite Campus, and then also make sure to have your student follow their schedule each school day. Your student's schedule is driven by the transcripts received from the previous school. So if you have any, it's important to get all records from other schools, submitted to GCA. And then also please contact your counselor for schedule change requests and access the website. You can look for your Infinite Campus login and look at the instructions here to be able to find your student schedule. It's shown on the slide that's up right now. If you have any trouble getting into Infinite Campus, please contact your student's FEL and they'll be able to assist you with that. Our GCA's counseling directory. So your GCA secondary grades counseling directory is located on the website, and you can also, I put a link to the counseling website on the group note board, but you could also download this presentation and get it from there. Our department calendars are also on our website. It's important to note we have all of the calendars here, so any information about events will be on those calendars. How to log in. So every single day, your student will first go to Clever. Then once you're in Clever, you can see the option for Canvas. So they would go into Canvas, and then from Canvas is where you can locate the courses, and then go into Jigsaw to enter the live class sessions. It's important to follow that sequence to make sure that attendance is counted accurately. Okay, so now we're getting to the best part, one of the best parts. And so Michelle Gilliard is here to talk a little bit about student leadership and service clubs. So our clubs, we do have a lot of opportunities. And so I would like for Ms. Gilliard to go ahead and talk about them.
Sure. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, I love service and leadership, and our service and leadership club students love serving you. If you've been in a brick and mortar school, you may have seen some of these clubs before. Very quickly, though, we do have a student council. The elections for this year's student council members to add members to our current student council will happen in mid-October. So your secondary grade students, 9th through 12th, will receive invitations to nominate themselves, or they can nominate someone else to be on the ballot. Our student council members are elected by their grade band peers because they are the representative body for that grade band. Student Advisory Council, the difference between that and Student Advisory Council, these students meet once per month for Student Advisory Council, and we ask them specific content questions about what's going on during the year. So around testing time frame, we may ask, how are you getting communication from your teachers? Do you feel like you're getting the support that you need? Do you feel like you're getting the right review information that you need. So we ask like specific questions based on the time of year. So there's a difference between Student Advisory Council and Student Council. We have beta. Again, those registrations and invitations will go out early October. National Honor Society, that is for our 10th through 12th grade students. That is by invitation only, based on a 3.75 GPA. All of that information is also going to be here in the presentation. So you don't have to write any of that stuff out because Ms. Jennifer does have it for you on the open house. NTHS is National Technical Honor Society. That again is also invitation only. You have to have a certain GPA requirement as well as having to complete 3 CTAE pathway completions. Those are their career or college readiness pathways. Your students will know what that is, even if you don't know as parents. That's what the CTAE means. National we also have our National Spanish Honor Society. That will be by invitation only. The students must have been in at least Spanish 4 at this point. So you're mostly going to see our 11th and 12th grade students that are in that National Spanish Honor Society. FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America. And I always say this because some people think it's just people that work in offices, but FBLA is all American enterprises. So anything, it can be the bug spray company, it can be your plumbing company, it can be, a Fortune 500 company, any American enterprise. If your students are interested in working in those, they will be great at FBLA. DECA, those registrations, again, will go out the week of early October. If you have any questions or concerns, you can always email me. My information is there on the form. And I think in a few more slides, Ms. Jennifer is actually going to show you the presentation link as well as the recording link from our Service and Leadership Open House. We will be having our membership drives. They will kick off with the Back to School event, which is on October the 19th. So your students will have an opportunity to come and talk to other students that have already been in these clubs and get their perspective on their experience participating in the different clubs. So that kickoff again will happen mid-October. Back over to you, Jennifer.
Thank you so much. Okay, so next I am going to talk about Learning Coach Live Help. So Learning Coach Live Help is a great opportunity for learning coaches, parents, to come and ask any questions that you have. So we will be there Monday through Wednesday from 12 to 1 up until October the 19th. So if you have any questions, the link is on this presentation. And if you have any questions, please join us at Learning Coach Live Help, and we will be able to connect you with the right resources to answer any of your questions that you may have once you get started here at GCA. Also, attendance live support. So if you have any Nucleus questions, if you don't have your Nucleus account set up, if you're having any trouble with Nucleus, it's a great opportunity to join Nucleus Live Help. So that is going to be on your Jigsaw, under your Jigsaw sessions, and the link is going to be in there. So you'll be able to join from your student's computer or from your Learning Coach device. And, if you're in your Learning Coach account on Canvas and get into Jigsaw that way, you'll be able to attend those support sessions as well. And they are there from Monday through Wednesday up until March 29th, from 12 to 12:45. So some of these meetings that are on these following slides have already happened, and so you can access the parent calendar to find the recordings for these meetings. And so if you access the parent calendar, which is on the group note board as well, or in the presentation, you can find the recordings. So we had our district town hall meeting. We also had an advanced and gifted parent meeting, just with information about our advanced and gifted programs. Our copyright piracy and literacy training is actually today, September the 8th. From 6 o'clock. So if you can join us tonight, we would love to see you there tonight. Our secondary grades curriculum night. This already took place, and right now I'm still in the process of gathering the recordings for that curriculum night. And then once all the teachers have submitted their recordings, I will be able to send that out in a newsletter to all the parents, all the learning coaches, so that you can access these recordings if you were not able to attend the curriculum night. If you hadn't started yet, you probably were not able to attend the curriculum night. Curriculum night. Our parent meeting and parent university is coming up September the 13th. And we'll have some great information presented to you at this parent university. And so if you can join us, we would love to see you there. And Miss Gilliard was talking about the secondary grades club's open house, and so there is a recording for that open house, which already took place, and I will be sending it out on the link with when I send out the recording for this session. I'll also include the link for the s'more from the open house for the leadership clubs. I think I've got it here too. So if you give me 1 second, I can put that in the chat in case you're interested in going ahead and. Oh, thank you, Mrs. Gilliard. Okay, so she put it in the chat so that if you're interested in watching that recording, getting more information, you can go ahead and do that. And we are at the end of our presentation. So on behalf of your secondary grade staff, we're looking forward to a great year with you. We thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, you can either raise your hand and we can unlock the mic for you, or if you want to put your questions in the chat, feel free to go ahead and put your question in the chat. If not, then thank you for attending, and we hope you have a great school year.